think it's actually, it will surprise you how quickly uni becomes your home.
If you've got a 2-hour lecture, then that is heavy. Prepare yourself, that is like so long.
And also you get paid a lot of the time for doing the year.
Going to uni is like the first time, maybe for most people, that you're going to be like kind of responsible for yourself. Gonna work. We're on FaceTime to each other because obviously it's lockdown still, but we wanted to do like a chatty video, so we're kind of like chatting to each other but like filming individually, but we're going to try and piece it together. Hopefully this works. We're going to chat a bit more about uni today and like what we thought of it, like what we wanted to know before we went. So yeah, if you do like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, send it to your friends who are also maybe going to uni, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, hopefully you'll find this helpful, because we know that the last video we did all about Newcastle uni specifically, and we did find that it was helpful for a lot of people, so we thought we'd do one today but more about general uni. Yeah, we've got some questions, haven't we, that we thought we could answer, like frequently asked questions about uni. But
we went back onto the classic student room. I didn't even know that was still in existence, but like looked what people were asking and stuff, so we're just gonna have a go at like saying what we think. Okay, I've got a good question. What's the difference between a lecture and a seminar? So a lecture is usually in like a big lecture hall, probably with like tiered seating, 100 maybe people in there. A lecturer stands at the front for like 1 or 2 hours. If you've got a 2-hour lecture, then that is heavy. Prepare yourself, that is like so long.
I hate 2-hour lectures, but they do sometimes give you a break, which is good. But
so in a lecturer stands at the front, reads out a PowerPoint usually, and it's like content about the thing. Sometimes
the lecturer might try and ask people questions, but people don't really answer in a lecture.
Like, yeah, you don't like chat in a lecture really, unless you do like a really, unless like I remember actually in one of my lectures in second year, we were learning about how different vowels sounded or something, and he like split the lecture into 3, and made each third of the lecture hall like stand up, shout this letter, and then like sit down, and everyone was looking around like what is going on, because it's just like never happens, like no one ever speaks.
Seminars are way fewer people, so you could have like 15 people in your seminar compared to like 100 in a lecture, and it would be in like a classroom type environment, and the seminar leader would sit at the front and ask questions and hope that people are going to like engage, and then you'd have to speak to like in groups about the whole, like basically it's like discussing what you learned in the lecture.
Yeah, so you'd probably have like a lecture on Monday, and then you'd do some tasks and reading like between, and then you'd go to seminar on like Thursday and you'd have done the tasks. In the seminar, the idea is you discuss these tasks.
I do find it quite frustrating, like I'm not like really confident in seminars, but if no one says anything and everyone's looking around, like sometimes it's just less awkward to actually just say what you, because most of the time people know what they're thinking something about it. I think seminars are like, I've found them probably more valuable than the lectures. Like obviously both, you've got to go to the lecture because otherwise you don't really know what's going on in the seminar, but I do think that seminars are so good because it's fewer people and you can actually discuss.
Like obviously you should do the tasks and you should do the reading and stuff, but like you shouldn't not go to the seminar if you haven't done it, because a lot of the time it's still really relevant and you learn more by going without doing the tasks than you do by not going at all. What does a placement or year abroad mean, and what does it do? Basically what it means is like you have a year out of your course, normally between second and third year, and obviously year abroad, as the name suggests, you go abroad somewhere and you like live or work abroad, which is obviously really good if you like studying a language. Like our friend does Spanish, and so she's living in Spain at the moment, and it's like really helpful for Spanish. And then a placement year is like normally in the UK, a lot of people go down to like London or like Manchester and get like a job in like a company for a year and just like work for a year, learn the skills and stuff. So if it's kind of like fits in with your degree or like what you want to do, it's a good way to get experience and stuff. But we didn't do one, did we?
Yeah, neither of our courses have year abroads, but we could have decided to do one, or we could have done a work placement as well. You can apply to do it, but we just chose not to, didn't we? I think like It's good with a work placement because obviously you get that experience, and also you get paid a lot of the time for doing the year. But I think for us, we just didn't really want to jump out of the uni lifestyle and then try and get back into it. And also we were thinking, like, when we come back, like, will our friends still be there and stuff, which I think if you're on a course like business or like a language where you do a year abroad or whatever, I think it's like good, because then you know that pretty much everyone's probably going to do a work placement and you'll come back and everyone will be there again for the final year. I think that from people that I've spoken to, pretty much everyone said it's so valuable and they're like, they don't regret it at all. Okay, so we saw a question saying, asking about how many classes you have a week, like how many lectures, are you going to be in uni every day of the week? And you just can't answer that like question with a one answer, because every course is different. I mean, we do courses where our contact hours are quite low.
Yeah, I remember in like second year, or like, was it third year, first semester, I had like 2 days a week or something, 3 days a week. It was stupid. I was like, I'm literally paying £9 to have like a few hours on a couple of days. But then courses like medicine or like pharmacy or anything like that, like, you're more likely to be in like long days every day.
9 to 5 every day.
So it's like impossible to answer that. Chances are, like, even if you're not in uni, you might be like around campus, like in town kind of thing. Our courses are like really low hours, so it's really hard to say that ridiculously low. We would just like, I sometimes felt like I didn't actually go to uni. I was in like 1 hour here and there.
I think I was in every Tuesday and Thursday and then every other Wednesday, so I literally was in basically 2 days a week. And even for those days, it wasn't like a full day, it was like 2 seminars and 3 lectures or whatever. So but I don't think that, I mean, we maybe didn't do this all the time, but it doesn't mean that just because you're not in actual lectures, like, you can't be on campus in the library, like in the students' union. Do you know what I mean? No, but to be fair, like, a couple of times, if you've been to a lecture at like 1 till 2, you might go to the library 2 till 4. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're not in uni.
What job opportunities are there at uni? Like, do people get a part-time job? So we've both had jobs like all the way through uni, like a range of jobs. Like, I worked in a shop for a bit. We both worked at the same bar. I think as well, like, most unis are in quite big cities, so there's actually more job opportunities than maybe there would be in like your little hometown.
Yeah, so I had a job in first and second year, like in a club in Newcastle, and I remember I just applied for that online, then got a call like, yeah, you've got an interview, and then went for that. And that night she called me like, yeah, you've got the job. It seemed pretty, I think it's pretty easy to get a job in a city.
Yeah, because there's so many like bars, restaurants, like that. And then also, like, not only just finding a job, but like having a job at uni. Like, some people are like, do I want to ruin my uni experience by like, having a job? Like, as much as obviously sometimes I was like, oh, I don't want to go to work, like, first of all, you need money to like live and stuff. Obviously, if you're lucky enough that you don't need to have a job, then fine, but like, we need money. And also, I met quite a lot of my friends at uni through work and stuff as well. It's quite like another nice way to meet people. Like, if you're like quite a studenty workplace, like, both of my jobs, the bar jobs, were like all students pretty much.
It's another social aspect to uni, so you have like your course friends, or the people you live with, and then you have your work friends, whatever.
Something that I would maybe say when you're looking for your job, my first job, I went home for Christmas thinking that I'd be able to go back, and they'd hired loads of Christmas temps, and then I just didn't get my job back. Whereas like this job that me and Vass had just like in third year, the majority of the customers were like all students, so everyone went home for Christmas, so she didn't need any staff. So then that was like really ideal. She was really good, and she was like, you can just go home for however long and then come back.
Okay, and also we see quite a lot of people talking about cooking and like having to fend for yourself and like make your own meals while you're at uni, and like, how is it and everything. Well, I mean, luckily for us, we enjoy cooking.
One of my favourite parts about like moving away and like going to uni and stuff was being able to cook my own meals like whenever I wanted, like what I wanted for tea that night.
Going and doing your food shop at the supermarket, it's so exciting at uni. I don't know why, I just love it so much.
And then cooking, obviously it depends again on like the accommodation you're in and stuff, but like most accommodations have like a decent kitchen that you can like, and you'd have, one thing to bear in mind is you might not have loads of like fridge and freezer space. I know especially first and second year we found that, but this year we've been a bit lucky, we had a bit more, but still like not loads. But yeah, I think like learn a few, maybe like spend your summer before, spend your time in isolation now learning to cook.
We actually trialed flat cooking, so one night a week one of us would cook, the next night, you know, for everyone, instead of cooking just for yourselves. But we actually found that I actually didn't like that as much as just cooking for myself.
It worked out loads cheaper. I'm sure we spent like £5 or £10 and we had like all our meals for like 2 weeks were like covered.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like someone would be like, I'm cooking tonight, and they'd be like, I'm gonna put some pizza in the oven. Like, it just really wasn't the same. Like, I think in first year, like we were all settling in, like getting used to it. We'd go out a lot more, so we'd be eating kind of like rubbish food because we'd be hungover and stuff. But I think like second year especially, like I really got into like cooking like nice healthy meals.
I feel like I'll make stuff now at home for my family, and they'll be like, oh, that's lovely, and I'll be like, yeah, I kind of just discovered it at uni, like trying different things and seeing what works well. Take uni as an opportunity to like cook and like discover what you like. That's what I would say anyway. Yeah.
Can you take a car to uni with you? This obviously depends on the uni because it's like stuff, but you can. Yeah, most places you're obviously allowed. I don't really think you need one. Obviously, again, depends on the city, but like most of my friends that I know at like different cities, like you can walk into town, or like the accommodation sometimes don't have car parking and stuff. So I don't really think you need a car, but if you've got one that you want to take, then
I kind of feel like the only trip that you would go at uni like with a car is to the supermarket or something.
Yeah, literally.
I played netball this year, like, and I didn't play at the uni. I played like out of town, and it was like a 10-minute metro, so it was like fine, but sometimes I just wish I'd had a car just to like drive there.
Yeah, actually that's true. Sorry, because I don't do like a sport at uni, I forget that obviously people travel every weekend when they're playing sport, like to other places. So maybe a car would be helpful in that way. Like our housemate plays hockey, and his mate, like who has a car, will drive them all down to the hockey match in like Manchester or Liverpool or whatever.
Sometimes car parking can be like really expensive, so you have to think about if that's what, because you're probably going to be on quite a budget when you're a student. Like, is that what you want to be spending your money on, like petrol and insurance and parking and stuff?
Yeah, you have to have a permit, don't you, in like a lot of places to park it, like around houses.
Okay, so people were asking about what they need to take in terms of like laptops and all that kind of thing. So in lectures, don't feel like you have to have your laptop. Like obviously some people have their laptops and some people write. Like I kind of switch between both. And then obviously there is the library, so you don't have to have a laptop, but we would like recommend taking a laptop to uni. Just because it makes life a lot easier, because if you have work to do, you don't have to trek to the library every time you want to do a bit of work. But don't feel like you have to have like this new really expensive like laptop to go to uni.
And I think a lot of unis, if you're in the position where you can't afford to get a laptop, that's like so understandable, they're so expensive. So a lot of unis will like help you out with that and stuff, so don't be afraid to just go to like the student centre when you get there and be like, I think having a laptop will be really helpful, and like I can't really afford one. What kind of societies and sports teams are available at uni?
Oh my god, there's so many societies.
So many.
Like honestly, I would be here all day if I was listing like every society. I'm sure it's like that at most unis, but in Newcastle there was so many.
How many did we join? None.
No, you know, the thing that like did annoy me about that is you've got to pay for this gold gym. So if you want to join a sports team, I don't know if it's like this at every uni, but you've got to pay for the like most expensive gym membership that runs alongside it. So you don't just have to pay to join the society, you have to pay for this gym thing, which obviously is useful, but you might not want to go to the uni gym. But yeah, and then you can do there's like language society type things, and then fashion, what else is like,
there's like all sorts, like any sport, like they're probably gonna have it. And also I think with sport as well, don't be put off if you're not like amazing at that sport. They have like different levels, so if you're really good at netball, then fine, go and play for like the first team. But also like some subjects have like an English netball team or like a geography netball team that you can join, and that's another good way to meet people.
Also there's like the student radio, student TV, student paper.
So as much as we didn't do any like really sports teams or societies or anything, like we met a lot of our friends through the Tab, which isn't a society as such, but it's kind of like the same vibes as much, like you meet every week.
It basically is one without the label.
It's just you're not associated with uni, which
and we did radio, didn't we?
I saw like a forum on the student room, and it was basically saying like, I'm worried about budgeting, not having enough money, running out of money, not being able to pay my rent, all that kind of stuff. So obviously going to uni is like the first time maybe for most people that you're going to be like kind of responsible for yourself, responsible for like all your own money. but I do think that you will always manage. I think you learn in uni that you do have to prioritise things. Like sometimes you might just have to be like, well, I would love a new jumper, but I'm just not going to buy that because I need my food for next week. And I think it's actually such a big like learning experience about budgeting and stuff. I don't think it's something to be worried about. I think it's something to kind of like embrace and be like, right, well, if I want to go on that night out, then I'll have to like do a big food shop at the start of the week rather than like shopping every night and stuff.
And also, like, I think that, I mean, I'm not encouraging people to get into their overdraft, but I do think like it's 0% interest. You have it for a reason because you're a student and you might be struggling. And I think as long as in your head you know that, like, say when you get paid next, or when you know your next student finance is going to come in, that you can put it back into your overdraft. But I do think, like, don't be really scared to go into it a little bit. Like, if you are struggling loads, then it's actually really helpful.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's one of those things that like I was always like, oh, I'm not gonna get my overdraft, but like obviously every year I'm like still in it now. But again, like I was saying before with the laptops, like there is places you can get help.
I was gonna say,
like, know that there are grants available. Like, I don't know if this is the same at every uni, but I'm guessing there is something available at most unis where a lot of the time you don't even have to, if you're worried about approaching, you're like nervous to approach, a lot of the time you don't even have to approach. They just figure it out by your student finance and your income and all that kind of thing, and then they sometimes just do give you a grant that you don't have to pay back.
So yeah, basically what I would say is like, to an extent prioritize, like do a big food shop instead of little ones. Like maybe don't go out every night of the week. Like you don't have to go to the pub every night, you could just have a night in one night or whatever. But I think at uni is the time when you learn about money. Like definitely for me anyway, like learn about money. I try to budget at the start of every term. I'm like, I'm gonna budget, I'm gonna do like this much a week, but it never works out. But I think like you will be fine, and if you do start to panic about money, then always go and speak to someone. Like, and I think like one thing to just say about going to uni is like, obviously it's a scary experience, and I feel like we can more confidently say now because we've finished it that we're like, oh, it's fine.
It's a lovely thing like to have.
Yeah, but like I think just like go with the mindset that like just enjoy everything, don't worry about anything. You'll go on these random nights out in freshers, and then you'll eventually work out where your favorite places are to go. You'll go to a supermarket that's like so far away, and then you'll realize there's one around the corner. Like it's all these kind of things that it's just like exciting. Like chances are you're moving away to a new city, you're meeting all these new people. So I think like with uni, just don't spend these 6 months before it like panicking. Like spend them getting excited, maybe like find people on Facebook and stuff that maybe are going to be on your course or whatever, like kind of like get excited for it and do some research. That's obviously exciting as well, but don't spend all this time being like, oh, what's like, I need to know everything now. Like
I think it's actually, it will surprise you how quickly uni becomes your home, and you adapt to a place. I think it's really mad how you can not even be in a place for that long and have already adapted to it. And like it's the whole thing, isn't it, in first year of like going home, like home, and like referring to uni as home, and you're like oh, I didn't mean to do that, sorry, it's not my home. But it's because like it does feel, I think it becomes like that so quickly.
Yeah, and without sounding like patronising, like third year, like it will go so fast, so enjoy every moment like whilst you're there. Don't say yes, well, not everything, like if you don't want to do it then don't do it, but like say yes to everything.
If you have any more questions about uni, because obviously we've tried to cover most topics that we can, but please leave a comment. We know that in the Newcastle one we had a few people like leaving comments like expanding on what we'd already said, but yeah, so please do leave a comment, because we do like helping people out, because we remember how nerve-wracking it was before we went. So if we can help in any way.
If you are going to Newcastle, we'll link our Newcastle video here, which we speak about more specifics about like clubs, accommodation, like the city and that kind of thing.
If you are going to Newcastle, lucky you.
Yeah, buses.
I'm jealous, I want to do it all over.
Yeah, so we thought we'd do just a more general one for everyone else. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you think of any more like uni videos that you might want us to do, then leave them in the comments as well, because we love speaking about uni, so we'll happily do some more.
All right, see you on Wednesday for another vlog.
Yes.
Another isolation vlog. Bye.
Goodbye.